Welcome to another episode of Hood Games. I'm your host, the 40-year-old gamer, and today we're going to talk about we're going to do part two of 30 horror games that you can play in the month of October for Halloween. And the first game we're talking about, we ain't going to do too much talking, we're just going to get right into the video. First game we're talking about is Darkness, or The Darkness, for the Xbox 360. The games I'm talking about today are all backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. And without further ado, the first game is The Darkness for the Xbox 360. This came out early in the Xbox 360's lifespan, early in the, kind of around a few months after the Xbox 360 launched, or it came out like right on launch of the Xbox 360. It was somewhere around there. But when I first seen this game, I was blown away by the graphics. The graphics don't look as good as the graphics look today on modern systems, but these graphics were really good, man. And the concept of the game of you being a mob boss and you gain these demonic powers and using them on the enemy, on the streets or whatever. It was just like an amazing game, man. And I do definitely recommend The Darkness if you haven't played it for the Xbox 360. This is backwards compatible with the Xbox 360. With the Xbox Series X. And this is a good game I recommend people to try out. If you got a Series X, go get this backwards compatible Xbox 360 horror game, man. It's a first person shooter slash horror game. It kind of reminds me of the games like Fear. It kind of reminds me of Fear, but it's brutal. Actually, it's brutal just like Fear. It's just that unlike Fear, you can use demonic powers on this, man. You can have, his name is Jackie, and you can have him fuck people up with these snake-like things that you can have on you. You don't have to always shoot people. You can have these yo demon snakes or whatever attack them, man. It is a dope game. This is a high recommendation on my October list for 30 horror games that you can play in the month of October. And without further ado, let's get into the next game. Yes, The Darkness is a great game, backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. This is the first backwards compatible Xbox Series X game I'm going to talk about today. And let's get into the second one. The Darkness 2. People might have seen previous videos where I kind of briefly talked about The Darkness 2, but this is also backwards compatible with the Series X. And this game blew me away because, like, it's just how the graphics were. They changed the graphics and made them shell shaded, like Borderlands, man. Like the Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, how it's got those shell shaded graphics. I like those type of graphics, man. I like when they do that, man. And they did it to this game, man. And to me, The Darkness 2 is better than The Darkness 1. It really is, story wise, gameplay wise, everything. The whole game all the way around, man. They improved on every aspect of this game, man. And it is a great game to play for the month of October or on Halloween for your Xbox Series X, man. Like I said, we're talking about 30 backwards compatible Xbox, 30, not 30 backwards compatible. We're talking about 30 Xbox 360 and Xbox One games that you can play for the month of October and have a really good time playing it, man. And this is definitely one of them, man. And without further ado, let's get into the next game, man. Because this game is out cold, man. The Darkness 2, backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. And this is a great game for Halloween or for the month of October. And without further ado, let's get into the next game. The next horror game, number 3, Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a great game. I'm pretty sure a lot of game players out there that own systems or whatnot, they know about Alan Wake because it came out for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. I don't think it came out for the Switch. But anyways, this is another. This is a third-person shooter slash action adventure game. You know, setting the horror theme of this dude named Alan that went on a vacation with his wife. Dude went on vacation with his wife, and basically, like, somehow him and his wife got into a little argument, and he ended up leaving for a second out the cabin. And basically, I don't know what happened, but somehow his wife got either kidnapped or she ended up dying or something, and he was just trapped in this story that they tell him, man. I don't want to really give like too much of the game away because this game is excellent. If you have not played it, I suggest you go out and get the either version that you can find, whether it's the Xbox 360 version or the remade version, because they remade this game or they remastered it for the Xbox One. And yeah, I would definitely check out this game. This is a high recommendation for this time of this year. You know, the month of October. This is definitely a high recommendation horror game. Third person shooter slash horror. Alan Wake, man. Let's get to the next game. Yeah, this is an excellent game to play in the month of October for Halloween, man. This is a high recommendation on my list for horror games to play in the month of October. And without further ado, let's get into the next horror game to play. Number 4, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. This is a hidden gem for people that don't know. This game actually came out for it's the DLC to the first Red Dead Redemption, and this game actually came like different. Like I got the single copy, but they got like copies that came with the copies of Red Dead Redemption. Like you can get it like they got a Game of the Year edition of it of Red Dead Redemption 1, and I think it comes like with the DLC or whatever. But I just got like the disc of Red Dead Redemption, the original, and then I got the disc for the DLC because you can at that time they was doing DLC separate discs because they can be games all in themselves, man. And Red Dead Redemption was definitely one of the good ones, man. This game actually blew me away on Halloween, man. And I was just like, this game right here, this one, and number 2 is great, but for the month of October, there ain't no better Red Dead Redemption game you can play than Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, man. It's a hidden gem, like what's his name? Metal Jesus Rock always say, this is a hidden gem for sure, because I don't hear much people talking about it. It is a great game, to play for the month of October, and that's why it's high on my list. Let's get to the next game. I personally think Undead Nightmare is a great game to play for Halloween. If you ain't got an Xbox 360, this is backwards compatible with the Xbox. I mean, if you ain't got Xbox 360, it's backwards compatible with the Series X. Without further ado, let's get into the next game. Games to play for Halloween, man. Games to play for the month of Halloween. The next game we're getting into is one of my personal favorites. This was an actual really good game at the time it came out in the Xbox 360 era when it came out, and that is Dead Space Part 1. Dead Space Part 1 is an excellent, and it's one of those Xbox 360 games that people will always remember. Anybody that actually takes the time out to play this game will always remember that this is a hidden gem. This is a great game, and the reason why they got a brand new one out for the modern systems, it's the Dead Space remake. The reason why they remade that or made a remake is because of how great the first game is, man. And I hope they remake the second game as well, man, because the second game is out cold too, man, to me. Yeah, because I personally thought that the second game was just as good as the first game, man. You know, if you ask me, man. And this was like, this is an instant classic to me. It was a great horror game to play, back when it came out for the Xbox 360, and it just basically got you ready for what horror games had become, man, in this era, man. Like, we had never seen horror games so realistic, and the story is so deep. It's just a great horror game, and I give it to the developers and the team, man. For this to be an Xbox 360 game, they really, really did an excellent job making this game. And this is definitely a great game to play on Halloween. One of my high recommendation Halloween games to play for the month of October. And without further ado, let's get into the next game for the to play in the month of October, man, for Halloween. Yeah, Dead Space One is definitely one of those games that you want to play for Halloween, man. If you can find it, borrow it from somebody or whatever, this is definitely a great game to play on Halloween. It's backwards compatible with the Series X, so to me that makes this game even more valuable, man, because you can play it on your modern systems. And without further ado, let's get into the next game. Dead Space 2 for the Xbox 360. This one and the third one is also backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X. And this is an excellent game to play for the month of October. And it's just like the first Dead Space, but it improved on a lot of things that the first Dead Space got wrong. I really hope they remake the second Dead Space, man. Because the second Dead Space, just in my opinion, was better than the first one, man. And it wasn't better than the first one by much, but to me, it was more of, and if you follow the story of Dead Space, this one was more of an improvement to me, than the first Dead Space. They improved on, if you ask me, they improved on damn near everything, as far as like, the graphics were better, the story was better, it was more action, more of them zombie looking things or whatever. It is an excellent game to play on Halloween, man. And without further ado, let's get into the next horror game that you should be playing for the month of October. Horror games you should be playing for the month of October. Yes, y'all have to remake Part 2, man. Part 2 is a dope, real dope horror, third person shooter / horror game. And without further ado, let's get into the next horror game that you should be playing for the month of October. Deadly Premonition for the Xbox 360. The reason why I got this game, I'm gonna be honest with you, is because I seen it on a couple game channels that people was talking about, and they was talking about how good it was because they was talking about it was like Twin Peaks. And I only watched like a couple episodes of Twin Peaks, but from what I watched, it was really good. And they said this game is based off that. So when I actually first started playing this game, they're actually telling the truth about this game, man. This game is based off Twin Peaks. This game is definitely based off that Twin Peaks TV series, man. If y'all haven't seen the TV series Twin Peaks, y'all should check that out, man. It's I believe it's a really good TV series. Just from a couple episodes I watched of it, I only watched like 2, maybe 3 episodes of it, but I do remember from what I seen, it was good. It was just that set there. I was watching something else. It was another TV series that I was watching, and I kind of like didn't go back to it, but it always been in the back of my head to go back and watch that movie Twin Peaks. And when I played this game, this is one of my back catalog games that I have to go back to and keep playing more because I had only got maybe about a couple hours in to this game so far. And it's been a good game, but well, I'll put it this way, it's been all right. It ain't the best game, but it's dope to play for the month of October. It's a real dope horror game to play for October, man. So without further ado, let's get to the next game. Yes, this is a big like movie type game, that's based off that Twin Peaks, but I don't even know if it's based off Twin Peaks. It's just very similar from what they were saying on on a couple of game channels that I follow. And yeah, this one is, I do recommend it. It's not a high recommendation that I recommend, but for any horror fan out there that love horror games that haven't seen or played Deadly Premonition, check this out, man, for the month of October, man. I don't think you'll be disappointed, man. All right, let's get into the next game. Fear, the first Fear for the Xbox 360, that is also backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X, and it's also got a FPS boost. So this game looks and runs excellent. It is a first-person shooter slash horror game, and it's real dope, man. Yeah, this is a dope first-person shooter, man. Like, you just don't see games like this that much no more, man. First-person shooters made like this, man. But this one was definitely an excellent first-person shooter slash horror game for the Xbox 360 when it came out, man. It was definitely one of the dope games that you could play for the Xbox 360. I mean, for the Xbox 360, yeah, when it came out in that era. It definitely will surprise y'all. For this to be an Xbox 360 game, this will definitely surprise y'all running on the Series X. That's why I chose Series X over PlayStation 5, because I had a lot of Xbox 360 games that I own that I bought years ago, and you know, I used to get all the games that I wanted for the Xbox, or at least try to get all the games I wanted for the Xbox Series. For the Xbox 360, because they were so dirt cheap, and it just seemed like nobody wanted them. And this new thing that started in the gaming community, that basically games go down in price when they're in the stores, but once they like become retro or whatever, games go up in price. So, and nobody was collecting Xbox 360 games, and just in my opinion, Xbox 360 was the best system in the 7th generation. And without further ado, let's get into the next horror game that you should be playing for the month of October. Yeah, Fear is an excellent game to play for the month of October. You know, if you like horror type games, man, this is a great first person shooter slash horror game to play for the month of October. And without further ado, let's get into the next horror game that you should play. And don't forget, like I said at the beginning, this is backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X, and it's got an FPS boost. So if you actually played this in the past on the Xbox 360, but you never got a chance to play it on the Xbox Series X, and you own an Xbox Series X, definitely give it a go on the Xbox Series X. It's like playing a whole new game. And let's get into the next horror game. Number 9, The Walking Dead by Telltale Games. I am a big story fan of games, and I follow stories big time on video games. That's what I play a lot of games for, the story. Just like I watch movies and TV shows, I play the games for the stories as well. And of course have fun on them too. But this one, it has one of the best stories you ever seen. This game could literally have you crying, man. Like, this game is so deep, man. The character is so well told. You know, the story is so well told on this. To me, it's better than the first season of the Walking Dead actual TV series. If you check this out, this is better than the TV series Walking Dead. At least it's better than the first season of The Walking Dead anyways, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, man. As good as the stories are told on these games, they should have made the TV series like this. Well, I guess they based it off of this, but I think they should have like made it exactly like the Telltale Walking Dead game, man. Because it was just like real crazy, man. Like, this game, what happened was I ended up seeing the TV series first, and I liked it a lot. Like, damn, you know, it was deep how what's his name, Rick, woke up in that hospital and everybody was just dead all around him. And he seen that dead girl alive, scooting, like, I don't know if half her body was off or her legs was cut off or something, but I know it was a really, really good TV series, man. It blew me away, man, some of the things that went on in season 1 of The Walking Dead. And then next thing you know, I go into the video game store one day and I see Walking Dead made by Telltale Games. And I'm looking on the back of the box and I'm like, it looked kind of different, but similar but different. Let me grab it, man, because it might be good, man. So when I played it, I was absolutely blown away. I cannot recommend this game enough. This is a top recommended game to play for the month of October if you like horror games, man. And I just cannot. This game, this game almost made me shed a tear, man. This game alone almost made me shed a tear, man. That's how good the story is on this game. It is unbelievable how good the story is on this game, man. That's why I recommend anybody to see this game, man. You have to play this game. You have to. I would just say, play the first hour of it, man. If you don't like it, then forget it. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I know everybody not gonna like this game, but I am sorry. This game is, it's just one of those games that I feel like anybody, if they gave it a chance and picked it up and play it, they would actually like this game. But without further ado, let's get into the last game that you can be playing for the month of October. The story on The Walking Dead is so cold that I just cannot express enough how cold this game is, man. This is definitely a game that I recommend anybody to play for the month of October. Anybody that's experienced with gaming and that just want to play a real good horror game, this is one of the highest recommendations I can recommend for the month of October, man. And without further ado, let's get to the last game. The Walking Dead Season 2. Season 2 is just as good as Season 1, man. It is so much messed up stuff that happened in The Walking Dead, man. It reminds me of the TV series, man. That's why I believe the games are just as good as the TV series. That's why I really say that the game is just as good as the TV series, man. Like, man, it is just like, you cannot win for you cannot win for losing, man. Like, you just, no matter what you do, it's just trouble around the corner, whether it's the zombies or whether it's people, and it seemed like it's just, she's living in an outlaw world where everybody is against everybody. They don't care if you are a small child, they will kill you. That's why this little girl has been through hell since since her parents left her on the first season and they never came back. And Lee found her, man. The black dude in the first one, man. He found her, man. And ever since then, her life has just been a journey, man. And, they just basically put you in her shoes, man, and let you see every single thing that she has to go through, man. And some of the horrors that she had to go through as a kid is straight up crazy. This is definitely an amazing Telltale game. It's like a point and click adventure type game. If y'all like those games, if y'all don't like them point and click adventure type games like this, make your own choice type games. And whatever happens is based off the choices that you make, man. I remember I used to read these books years ago, man, called Choose Your Own Adventure. And those books were excellent, man. And they were just like these games, man. It's like me reading them books back in the days, but I'm actually playing them out now. They telling them in a story form where You know, like depending on the choices you make, it's gonna affect you in the game in the long run. Yes, this is a dope game. High recommendation for Halloween. High recommendation for the month of October on my list. And this is definitely, and I mean definitely, one of the best stories told on video games, man. And it's backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X, just like the first one. Yep. If you want some great games to play for the month of October, these are definitely 10 more great great horror games to play for the month of October. And this list was 10 Xbox 360 games that's backwards compatible with the Series X. So you can play these all on your modern console, man. And thank y'all for watching. You know, appreciate all the love from the fans I'm getting out there. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers so I can start live streaming. And until next time, y'all too old to be playing video games.